Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Audacity Network and welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily, where I cover this week's treachery, debauchery, and craziness. So today we're going to do a little different. I'm taking a little break from the lessons that I learned in a year of shows to cover a little bit of Twitter drama and patterns that I've noticed from interviewing 1,000 people, but also watching things go down on social media. But before we get into today's topic, which is performative mothers, um, a couple announcements. So the first thing, guys, if you guys noticed, we are streaming at a new time today. So let me know in the comments, do you guys prefer this time or did you prefer the earlier time? And let me know what part of the country you're in. But this week we are streaming at 5 Central. Also, we're now on Spotify. So if you guys want to listen on your way to and from work, we're uploading the episodes to Spotify. So go to the description. Um, and please go to theaudacitynetwork.com if you want to support us bringing in guests. I would really like to have it kind of do interviews here. The issue is that gets a little bit expensive because we have to fly people in, pay for their hotels, and we're currently demonetized. So if you want to support me, go to theaudacitynetwork.com. Okay, so today's first story we're going to talk about performative mothers. We're going to talk about last. I have a couple things I saw on Twitter I wanted to go over. There is a problem with simping. And I saw Charlie Kirk simping again. A lot of these guys on X, they always find a way to blame men. Even if something is the women's fault, they will always find a way to bring it back to the men. And one way I see this done commonly is through the abortion argument. So, as you guys know, my position on abortion is I am pro life. I think that abortion is disgusting. However, I do think conservatives should focus on battles that we can actually win. Even when Roe versus Wade was overturned, we still saw an increase in the number of abortions that they have every year. Um, Women are what wins elections. They're the majority of swing voters. You see the Trump campaign not really pushing for an abortion ban. I can see why, because the way I would see it is there's no point. You have to get the female vote, and women will never vote against their biology. And biologically, in order to survive, many women in history had to unalive their children. I know that's not a fun reality, but there was bathhouses in Greece that had baby bones in them. I brought a historian on the channel, and he said that if women had too many children and they couldn't basically carry them in order to survive when people were more nomadic, the kid had to go. This wasn't something that's new, and this is something that's happened in all of history. So I saw Charlie Kirk on campus debating abortion with some college students. And this is what I always see. They always bring it back to it's the men's fault. So let me show you guys.
Women
This
that
is
have
what I always
abortions
see. They always
Right.
bring it
because
back
they're
to
lied.
it's the men's fault.
Oh,
Let
wait,
me show
sorry.
you guys. This is me. Okay. Also, the thing, guys, if you could bring it back up. I think I said something that triggered it. Okay.
Based on one very simple medical principle, the lack of informed
Let me
consent.
go back to the beginning. Sorry, guys.
My heart goes out to women that have abortions
Right.
because they're lied to and manipulated, and it's based on one very simple medical principle, the lack of informed consent.
Okay.
I do not believe women, largely when they get abortions, know what they're doing.
Okay. My perspective before interviewing 1,000 women and interviewing women that had had abortions was similar. We just do not know what we're doing, right? We just if the women saw the abortion procedures, they would completely change their mind. But after debating this topic with women, what I found was that I could show them a video of a gruesome murder of a child. I could show them a late term abortion, and they would not care. They do not care at all. And when 1 out of 3 women in this country have had an abortion, what conclusion do we have? They do not care. Now, the other issue that we're going to get is I have seen women research plastic surgery for days. They will fly out to other countries on the other side of the world to get procedures done to their body, their face, and they have no problem researching those procedures. But Charlie Kirk somehow thinks that we are not adults who can't use Google. All right, I just want to show you guys something. So so if I Google and I say abortion side effects, okay? Watch this, guys. It's super infection, cervical injury, allergic reactions, breast cancer, retained blood clots in the uterus, okay? Or so this is what I call adults being able to Google things. Yes, yes, we are totally capable of Googling things. So, what the conservatives say is whenever a woman does something wrong, she didn't know. So, that goes back to the plausible deniability. Oh, they just didn't know what they were doing. No, they knew exactly what they were doing. And if they didn't, you have no excuse when the internet is here. I don't buy it. Okay, so let's keep going.
They're not given ultrasounds for their baby. They're not informed of the gruesome and graphic details surrounding their procedure. Instead,
Okay, wait, let me just show you guys something that's super difficult, right? So, okay, watch this. What happens when you get an abortion? Ooh. Now, I know this might be tough for the conservatives to understand that Google is an option, and we are adults, and we can Google things. Medical abortions involve taking 2 different medications to end the pregnancy. Look at that. What did I find out? We're killing the kid. You can find videos on YouTube. You can't look at, we find ways to research BBLs. We find ways to research Botox. We find ways to watch YouTube tutorials on how to completely transform your face. You're telling me that we could not figure out what goes on during an abortion. I can't take this simping. And this is the problem these days. Guys, it's a no wonder when you see testosterone levels dropping of men declining 1% a year. The average testosterone levels are half of what they were 50 years ago. This is one of the foundational psychological reasons why society's crumbling and in the state it's in. These women are getting away with literal murder, and there is a simp epidemic. T levels are so low and something needs to be done about it. Chalk is on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have even more mental clarity. You know better, you're more capable of making decisions, taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Chalk provides the highest quality herbal supplements clinically studied to boost your testosterone. Their tongue cat is wild harvested from Malaysian rainforest and is studied in double-blind human trial to boost free testosterone levels 87% in 21 days. Use my name, Pearl, as your coupon code, and you will get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Coupon code PEARL. Boost your testosterone naturally and supercharge your masculinity. Don't be a simp like Charlie Kirk, okay? Sorry, Charlie, I like your stuff, but I can't take this level of simpery. I can't do it. So I'm also gonna show you guys this while I react, because it's the color changing is pretty cool.
the justice system should be focused on the abortionists that are actually doing that procedure. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess, but the person also committing the crime, like killing her baby, is, I feel
Do you see this? This is the woman. So the woman says, you know what? She actually is committing a crime, Charlie. Like women we do have agency and we do know what we're doing. Okay, wait, guys, this is the blue. All right, look at this. Look at this. Look how cool this is. It matches my shirt. But she's saying, Charlie, look at we do commit crimes. Yeah, I mean, don't you think we should be held accountable? I don't know. And he's going to say no. He's going to simp for eternity. Because this is the difference. So the liberals want women to have all of the freedom, right? The conservatives still take away the responsibility from women. They still do it. That's why I say the right and the left, they do the same thing. The left is just open about it. They're open misandrists and they're open about it. But here, I mean, this is still him. He's going to bring it back to, what about the men though? What about the men? It's always the men. I don't know, Charlie. 1 out of 3. I mean, I've seen women go on TikTok and upload their abortions, like upload them. You don't think they might know what they're doing? You don't think, I mean, she made a whole okay.
like should also be held responsible. Like, how can we ban abortions and the mom just still be let go?
Yeah, we're just not going to agree. I just don't. First of all, she's not doing the act. Many times she's being forced into that situation.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys an example of one woman that I found talking about how. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to let him talk a little more. I'm going to let him go.
By someone paying for that abortion, such as someone that she might have had a relationship with, or even in terrible pimps also do it as well. But we're not going to agree because I think our posture on abortion should be compassion for the women that have abortions and get abortions, and justice for the industry that lies to them.
SIMPING. Stop simping. Please, God. Please, okay, I'm just going to show you guys an example I found online of a woman talking about how just, distraught. I mean, she was just coerced and it was just and did you see what he did there? Oh, it's the men who want the women to get abortions. And this is how you can tell that they haven't spent a lot of time in the trenches interviewing people and talking to people. The people that I know personally, the women that I know personally that have gotten abortions, usually are from boyfriends and men that would have stuck around. Women tend to abort their boyfriend's kid more than they do a one-night stand because it goes back to women are trying to get the highest status guy they can. They're trying to pass on his genes. And many of those guys don't commit. I mean, is it a coincidence that the NBA players who, let's be honest, I don't think a ton of them are screaming husband material. None of the women that they get pregnant seem to want to abort those kids. That's a major coincidence, right? But you see men crying outside abortion clinics about like begging women not to get abortions. So which is it, right? Now let me show you this woman. She was coerced, I bet. She was coerced into the abortion, I'm sure.
I love killing babies. I love
Jesus, we have to give her the word.
I've had like 45 abortions and I'm going to keep having them. I love killing babies.
I mean, does that look like a woman who doesn't know what she's doing? She must have just been coerced. I mean, it's coercion, am I right? And the reason I point this out, because every time we give one gender the get out of jail free card where we say, hey, they don't know what they're doing. It's why you see these numbers go up every year. It's why we keep getting away with stuff. It's because The simps come in and they say, "Oh, they don't know what they're doing." Okay. All right, so that's the first part. I wanted to go over a couple things I saw on Twitter today. The second thing I saw on Twitter is Lizzo is losing weight. Guys, look, we just have to talk about this because I did so many shows where we would argue about if Lizzo was overweight. And all the shows, the women would tell me, she's not fat, she's thick. Truly. I mean, this is thick nowadays. If this is thick, then I must be anorexic because that would frustrate me a lot. And now even Lizzo is admitting that she does not like or want to be fat. Now, is this probably Ozempic? Is it pretty convenient that the year Ozempic becomes popular, all these celebrities start losing weight? But in her case, Ozempic might save her life. This is probably someone, I know it's better to do it the natural way, but some people are so obese that it might save their life. So I'm actually not against Ozempic for very obese people because time's a ticking. You don't know when they're going to have a heart attack. If that's the only thing that fixes them, yeah, I mean, good for her. So good job, Lizzo. Good job, Lizzo. Because I am very excited to never have to argue with someone again if Lizzo's overweight. So please keep going. Do it for me, Chica. Help a woman out. Okay. The next story that I saw on X was a woman who basically exemplified something that I've noticed. So another way that I have noticed that women in relationships take credit for the men's success. And there are phrases that we say often that somehow give us the credit even though we did nothing. So, behind every great man is a great woman. We say that as if Bill Gates' wife built Microsoft and worked 80 hours a week and did the thing, right? There's nothing wrong with being supportive. In fact, we want to be supportive, but to act like the level of competence it takes to run a huge company, invent things, in this case that we're going to go over, make it to the NBA. So many times we feel entitled that if we're with a guy during the years he is building himself up or becoming a man, that we are entitled to his future. And it doesn't work like that. The same way men that are with us, when we have nothing or if we're overweight, are not entitled to be with us if we lose weight or if we. I've seen women leave men when they get famous, right? I've seen women leave men when they get in really good shape. Or I've seen women leave men if they go viral for being really attractive and they get better options. The same way that women, we do that, men, they are entitled to, if they want to, if they become rich, successful, and famous, to leaving us too. You're not entitled to anyone's time. You're not entitled to the future. And just because you're with a guy when he has nothing, it does not mean it will work out. And what I see on social media and media in general is people are they want to get a good outcome. And what they want is, here are the step-by-step instructions in order to get the outcome that you want. But life doesn't really work like that. You're not entitled to anything, and just because you do the right thing, it doesn't mean you'll have the right outcome. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, right? That's just life. And so a lot of times what I see is women, if they get dumped and a guy goes on to do bigger and better things, or even if they break up with him, they get entitled to his future. And so this woman, I saw her on X. So it said Scotty Barnes played high school at Motorvade Academy and literally 6 months of college basketball at Florida State before he got drafted. What was she holding down? So this is always what I hear was, I held him down. Yeah, what does that mean, ladies? I think one of these days I'm going to do a call-in show and ask, what does it mean to be holding it down? I don't know, if he went to the NBA, did you shoot the free throws? Did you do that? Did you spend hours in the gym? No? Were you just like there? Is that building a man up, being there? I mean, maybe I'm not saying you were a bad girlfriend. Maybe you cooked, maybe you cleaned, maybe you did the things you were supposed to do, but I don't know what's harder, being a good girlfriend or making it to the NBA. I don't know. I don't know. One seems a little more simple. And this is the thing. Life is about choices and trade-offs, right? So if we go after a guy that's the top 10%, or in that case, it's like 1% of men, how can we be surprised if they have the option to trade up? And you're not entitled to him not doing that just because you did the right thing. Anyway, so I guess she is salty. So she's, as we do, many times we run to social media when things don't go our way in order to get sympathy and play the victim card. And then you get more power and sympathy and attention from playing the victim card. So I've seen this. What's
that little game? Put a finger down if you were dating your high school sweetheart for almost 6 years. You're holding it down for him while he's trying to make it to the NBA. He makes it to the NBA, so you move to another country to be there with him to support him, all while studying for your master's. One day, out of the blue, he breaks up with you, and then months later, he gets a white girl pregnant. Just me? Oh, okay. What's that little game?
Okay, yeah. So again, this is what we call entitlement. She felt entitled to carry his kid. She felt entitled to be a mother to his kid just because she was there when he was young. And that's life. Sometimes you take L's. And what I would encourage is taking an L gracefully. Now, at times, it's much better to just eat it and take it than do this kind of stuff. Yeah, that's my 2 cents, okay? So, next story today. Okay, before we get to the topic, and then I will get to the topic, let me check the chat really quick. Yeah, holding it down is beyond my understanding. Yeah, I was just wondering what did you cook? Did you clean? I mean, is it that hard? I mean, don't you have to do that for yourself anyway? And what I'm not saying is trying to downplay the role of a wife and mother, right? It's a very selfless job. But again, what's more difficult to do? Would you guys say? I mean, hold it down for a multimillionaire guy? Or make it to the NBA? Which one has more difficult? I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, women literally have phrases for starter husbands. But when the men do what we do, we get mad. I mean, that is what it is. That's life. Okay, so the next story I saw, I'm actually going to dip a little bit into politics today. I was shocked that I agreed with a story from Kamala Harris. Yes, or I agreed with a policy that Kamala Harris was pushing. So as you guys know, I don't specifically cover politics on this channel, but sometimes I dip into it a little bit. And I was just shocked that I saw a Kamala video of her saying something that I agreed with. And I want to tell you guys why I agree. It's okay.
Do you think that sex work ought to be decriminalized?
I think so. I do. I think that we have to understand, though, that it is not as simple as that. But when you're talking about consenting adults, I think that, yes, we should really consider that we can't criminalize consensual behavior.
Do you think that sex work ought...
Yeah, so the reason that I think that sex work should be decriminalized is not because I think it is a good thing. It is not because I wish it to be common, but after interviewing 1,000 women, it's already out in the open anyways. OnlyFans, I would argue that 1 out of 5 attractive women under the age of 35 if not higher, are in some form of sex work, sugar babying. How many Instagram influencers get caught getting flown out to Dubai and getting paid absurd amounts of money to do some sort of sexual favor? I don't think this is good. But I think that when you give women the freedom to do anything, which we have the last 100 years, a higher percentage than you would think are going to pick sex work. I know you guys are thinking, why would they do that when the average OnlyFans person makes like $500 a month? I think less, like 250. I don't know, guys. It's not really about the sex work. What I found is that it's not about the money, but it's about they enjoy being desired, and knowing that men will pay money for them makes them feel really good, and they love getting naked on camera, and some women love getting paid to have sex. And I don't really think we should be wasting police tax dollars to start it. We got bigger fish to fry. So, um, and what I wouldn't want is it to be out in the open. I think there's got to be laws that they limit like where it can be done. Because I wouldn't want to have children where they can just see, like in Amsterdam, where the women are just in the windows. I would never want to live somewhere like that. But it's already here. I don't see the point of wasting tax dollars trying to. Okay, that would be my opinion on it. Okay. So I got into some trouble this weekend. I pissed off an account. 1 second. Also, guys, please like the video. There's 664 of you watching. Don't, I mean, if you guys can't get the membership, okay? Like the video. Do a woman a solid, help me out. I mean, a like is free. Just hit the like button. Just do me a favor. It's like they said, "Are you kidding? Sex work should be illegal." I mean, what are you guys going to do? Are you guys okay, let me get this straight. Let's make sex work illegal. Okay, let's make it all illegal. Let's ban it. And I've been down this path, okay? I want to say I'm not judging you for having these thoughts. Some of this stuff I said to at one point. But the problem is you got to think through some of these things. So right now, the numbers say that crime is down in this country. But anecdotally, I don't really believe that. I know more people that have gotten robbed the past couple of years. We've had issues with immigration and the crime that brings in. Every other day, I see something crazy going on social media, in terms of a clip of someone being attacked in public, robbed in public, etc. The other issue is because of the Black Lives Matter stuff, we have a decrease in men that are going into the police force and what they can do. So there's a limit on that because they don't want to be called racist. They don't want to be in that sort of position. And we're saying, let's have them spend their time chasing down two adults, making a transaction sexually. You might say that's immoral. I would agree, right? But you guys think you're going to stop the world's oldest profession. The world's oldest like literally the oldest profession in all of history. You think that we're just going to make a dent in it. We're going to stop it. Should we put police in hotels? Are we going to put police on Tinder? Should we have them spend their days looking through Tinder profiles and seeing the women that charge for a night? I personally think they have better things to do. I think we got bigger the same thing with the abortion, guys. I think it's wrong. But I'm trying to be pragmatic here and think about what can we actually accomplish and what is realistic. With the amount of sex workers that I have spoken to, I don't see them going anywhere. Okay, farming is the oldest profession. Okay, but I guarantee sex work was right after. Okay. So, they said the cops will start getting their whistles wet. Okay. Anyway, so that's how I see it. I understand. I completely understand why people want it to be banned. I just am trying to be realistic. So, this weekend on X, I got into some trouble. And I think a lot of times when I make these analyses or like I point out a pattern of behavior, people think I want relationships to fail. People think that I want marriage to disappear. But the funny thing happens when you interview 1,000 people, you notice patterns of behavior. And so what happens is you start to watch social media posts over time and you look for certain patterns that predict that they will break up. So I saw this video on Twitter and I have to do screenshots. I think I got blocked or she made it private or something. But yeah, why? Yeah, I can't see it. So I said there was a picture of a girl getting engaged, and I need to find it. Okay, this one. I'm gonna zoom in because everyone was triggered, and can they see this? The girl getting engaged on the yeah, okay. So she posted this picture of her getting engaged, and it was getting engaged is amazing and whatever. And what I've noticed over time is people kind of tell on themselves in their posts. So I said pictured ring, not pictured husband. And what I've noticed is when the center of a post is about me, they tend to break up or get divorced. So if there's 10 pictures of the ring or the wedding, they tend to get divorced more. And then there's one picture of the husband. And so what happens is I reveal something in these posts because I reveal what the true intent of the post is. And the post is, look how much the ring cost. I am awesome. And it's not celebrating being with him, it's celebrating the wedding and the ring. And another thing what reveals is people's reaction to this. Because all I look at is I'm pointing out a pattern of behavior, right? And if they get mad and angry, generally what I found is the shoe tends to fit. Because a normal reaction would be, oh, that's weird. This is my husband. Here you go. An abnormal reaction would be, why are you such an asshole? She gets engaged, posts several photos with her new fiance. You choose the one photo taken to specifically show off the ring he proudly chose for her and made it an issue. By the way, where's your fiance? So she's getting mad, right? And number one, they lied because she posted the fiance after I said this and then before, and these are the receipts, but and I don't care about that, but what you start to notice is everything is a performance and how many women make real life decisions based on social media, and their social media is a shrine to them. Now, what are you talking about, Pearl? You're crazy. You nutty woman. So then apparently I pissed off this. I didn't mean to piss off the pro-white accounts on Twitter. There was this Twitter post, and I didn't know this account was a pro-white account, but I just saw it on my timeline, right? And I post, let me find it. 1 second, guys. Oh. Wait, okay, here we go. So, what did I say that pissed this? Oh, I know why I can't pull this up. Let me look it up. I got blocked by this account too. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I was like, all I'm doing is pointing out patterns, guys. I was like, why are you guys getting so mad? I didn't say bad people. I didn't say, they just get angry. I don't know. Okay. So I said, oh my gosh, they blocked me. Okay. So I'm going to read what I said and then I'll find the picture because I'm having trouble getting both. So what you can tell in a picture is when a family tends to be more in order, and these families tend to last longer. The center of attention is the man in the picture because the natural order of things traditionally is going to be God, men, women, children, right? And women that are raised to be wives, which is pretty rare nowadays, they know they're supposed to bring attention to the men and not try to bring attention to themselves. And so I asked the question, who is the center of attention in this picture? And apparently they were saying I hate white people because I asked this question. So this is the picture. And is the center of attention him or is it my children, my baby? And the reason I point this out is because many men are used as sperm donors. The women don't want their babies, they want a baby. And you can see it, and they don't. It's the same thing what I was telling you guys with the timeline. It's all about what the woman wants and bringing attention to the woman. And they end up making these accounts, and these accounts are just dedicated to saying, I am awesome, live like me, and using their kids for clout and attention. And apparently this pissed off. Where's the last one? Let me go to my account because I think. Sorry, guys. I thought I had these links up, but I guess I did not. And so what you get performative mothers. And I've seen a couple of these growing up where every single thing the family does is on Facebook, it's on social media. And it's one thing when the kids, like when everyone's an adult, or at least the kids can be on social media, so 13, 14. But when you have kids that are 5, 6, 7 years old and you're trading, you're saying, you know what, I know there's pedophiles on this app. I know that there's creepy people. I know there's all these creeps on this app of Twitter. I know there's literal corn on this app. But do you know what's more important? Attention. Attention. And so what they do is they use these kids for likes, clicks, and attention. And the kids can't really consent to it. They're kids. And it's just really, it's really obvious, right? What they're trying to do. And I'm waiting for the first lawsuit of a kid whose whole life was plastered on social media without their consent. Because I see that coming in the future. And some of the performative mothers, they may cover their children's faces, right? But they still put all of their intimate family details on social media. And what it tends to signal is the men have a lack of frame because who lets their wife use their 10-month-old baby for clout? Is that a guy that has boundaries and standards, or is that a guy that lets his wife do whatever she wants at the expense of their kids' privacy? Because kids are innocent. They don't ask to be used for their mother's social media career. So there was a woman I found on TikTok, and I just could not believe. So all of you crazy pro-white account, race mixer people, were trying to say it was because the couples were white. And I'm like, you guys are so crazy. I'm going to show you a mixed couple who's doing the same crazy stuff. Look it. So this woman has a whole TikTok account. It's got 3.2 million followers. And it's putting all of the intimate details of their family online. Let me find. I've seen this couple do. Okay.
That you would be a hedge of protection over them, that nothing formed against them would prosper. God, I pray that you would lock these doors with your strongest angels. Nothing would come inside that is not safe, God. I pray for protection and peace and wisdom for all the teachers in that school, God.
And I'm just explaining a lot of you tradcon women on Twitter, this is how you look with your kids. I mean, does this look like a genuine prayer or does this look like a performance?
That you would arm them with everything they need to keep these babies thriving and safe. That you would be a hedge of protection over them, that nothing formed against them would prosper. God, I pray that you would.
Then you get. So this is, you're trading privacy, family privacy, right, for money. And these kids, I got a lot of pushback on this because, it's one thing to have like a family photo once a year. And it's another thing to put the most intimate details of these kids growing up on the internet.
Hold on. You can give her apple if she tells the truth. I'm going to ask you one more time. Sit up, please. Did Zuri say that? Is that a truth or a lie?
A lie.
Okay, and because you told the truth, you can have an apple because look at me. As long as you tell the truth, you're not going to get in trouble. It's when you lie that you're going to get in trouble, but as long as you tell the truth, mommy.
So what if she lied? Is that going on the internet? Is this appropriate? Is this something? Remember, pedophiles on this app. Remember, creeps, people that kidnap children. But let's just tell all the intimate details of, and that's why you see a lot of these parenting channels in 5 years, all of this messed up stuff comes out about them. And they just go crazy. Look at this.
So I just woke up to the news about the Georgia mass school shooting, and
oh my gosh, she's not.
And I feel like I'm gutted.
How do we need to all homeschool our children to keep them safe? And she's crying online. Bitch! I'm sorry, I'm working on my swearing, but lady, you just put, okay, let me get this straight. So your concern is a school shooting, sending your kids to school and there being a school shooting. While putting all the intimate details of your kids' like your baby children's lives on the internet. Wow. What a time. What a time to be alive. Okay, so I wrote down some patterns that I see from social media performative mothers. Their social media posts revolve around the ring, what their man does for them, and what he provides for them. It's never about him. So it's never about how awesome he is. It's look at me, look how awesome I am, look at all the awesome things I do for my husband, I am awesome. Or it's look at all the things he buys for me, look at all the things he does for me. It's never look at how awesome he is. Second thing, the social media mothers, as I said, the kids lose a sense of privacy. There are pedophiles on this app, and these women do not care because, attention is the currency. Um, there is a difference between a family picture once a year and putting all the intimate details about their kids' underage children's day-to-day life. Um, Everything is a show for the performative mother. Many times they have different personalities on and off camera, but you can see their true self by how they react when they are offended. As people, we all get offended, but what you can see their true nature and how they react. For example, there was a 37-year-old woman who was offended that I said younger women for hotter or hotter than older women, and she revealed her true nature because she just tweeted at me her selfies to prove that she was hotter than me. That's not a normal reaction, and to me would signal some sort of mental illness. For the social media performative mother, usually it is a shrine dedicated to themselves, showing how good of people they are. And genuinely, it's a virtue signal to say, we are better than you. And generally, this signals some sort of narcissism in the woman. So oftentimes they will say, this is kind of where you get the women that got married 2 seconds ago and they start lecturing everyone the next day. And what you see with them is they tend to get divorced in about 5 to 7 years. Um, and yeah, that's what I see with the performative mother. So that's all I got for you guys today. Guys, please go to the audacitynetwork.com if you want to support my work. We're hoping to get our first documentary out in the next couple of months, but it is expensive, so the more signups we can get on the network, the better. If you can, get the yearly membership, and then we do shows after the show, so if you guys have a question, comment, concern, you can go in, and there's people in the chat, they ask questions. We usually do this for, 15 minutes to a half hour after the show. Sometimes I'll do reactions, I'll say behind the scenes stuff, or I'll just say my most controversial opinions that aren't allowed on YouTube because we are trying to stay in the guidelines on YouTube, but we have an uncensored show after. And that's all I got for you guys today. Please like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if 5 p.m. is the best day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.